Hello everyone, it's Peter Piker Picked a Peck of Pickled Peppers Productions here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on a couple items at once. I've purchased a couple things for the new Thomas Wooden Railway line, and I wanted to review them. I plan to get a couple more things from this line, but this is what I have so far, and I really just wanted to talk about them in general, not really just review the specific models. I will talk about the specific models, but I just wanted to talk about this line. I really love all of these models. I think they're all really great, and I'm so happy with what Mattel has done with them. I think this is one of the best toys we've gotten in a couple years from them. And I think these are some of the best models from the range. I'm gonna talk about these a bit individually. I'll start with Diesel, because that was actually the first one I got. It was the only one I saw at my Barnes & Noble until I went back the second time. So let's take a closer look. Yeah, he has a red running board, and then side rod detailing, and then obviously the venting, vent sus, whatever, on the side, and then nothing on the back like most wooden railway models. And then a pretty good face, actually. I really like this face. I think it fits the character well. It's a way to do the smiling face that they like to do without making him seem happy. He definitely doesn't look like, he looks mischievous. And I have the 2003 Wooden Railway Diesel. In fact, I have the 3 comparison models on the side here to compare them with their 2003 counterpart. He has an angry face and then just ventilation detailing. Nothing else really. It's pretty simplistic. I believe this design is from the 90s. I don't think it was updated for the 2003 range. Just looking at these models side by side, there's a huge difference. Let me talk about the wheels a bit. The wheels in this line are kind of weird. They don't have the spoke detailing, and they're a bit chunkier. I don't know if I really like the wheels, but I think they don't really take away from the model either. This is what the old wheels look like. In case you didn't know, which you probably did. And I do like the detailing. I think these models look really nice. I don't think they went I don't think they're too much. I think the detailing on them is nice, and it looks good. Diesel's a pretty simple model in the first place, and I think they did a really good job. I think this is probably my second favorite model that I've seen from them in this range so far. And I do think it's an improve from the 2003. But for the next 2 engines, we're gonna see that's a pretty low bar. But for Diesel, it's really not. So let me bring out Percy next, because that was the second one I got. Here is Percy, and this is probably my favorite model in the whole range. It's shorter than most engines, like Percy is. Has the front buffer detailing. Has this really nice surprised face. I wish they would have given him a happy face. I don't think, like, a bunch of engines just won't have a normal face in this range, which I think is kind of weird, but whatever. It's something I'll live with. I really like this. I really love this model otherwise. Has the chunky wheels again, but I think on Percy, it's, like, less noticeable than the other engines. He has the fire detailing, and so did the other steam engines. Diesel doesn't have anything in there because he doesn't have a fire. He has the gold dome, nothing for the second dome, but that's not really important. He has a bunch of detailing. It looks really nice. The coal is physical, like you can feel it. I don't know if the Mattel one had it, but the 2003 model, which I think is a pretty bad iteration of Percy, does not have it. The face is kind of ugly. I think this is a good face other than it being surprised, and I feel like that's a great surprised impression for like what it is. Again, it has the normal wheels, and it has a lot less detailing on the side, and it's longer. And it doesn't really come close to what the 2022 Mattel model looks like. I think the 2022 Mattel model looks a lot better. This model also doesn't have the golden dome. Yeah, I feel like this is a vast improvement. One thing I forgot to mention is, I forgot actually. They still have the numbers and the names on the bottom, but it's more simplistic than what's on here. Let me move on to the final engine. This is probably the one I'll have the most to say about. Sorry, my camera cut off. Let me get back to where I was. Let me bring out Gordon and Gordon. I'm just going to bring these both out at the same time because I have to start comparing them immediately because most of the differences, like most of the things I need to talk about with this model that I haven't addressed with the other two are comparisons to the old models, and like, because these are new things for tender engines. Tank engines remain somewhat the same other than like scaling, like for Percy. They both have two bogies on the front, but on the newer model, it has larger wheels and smaller wheels, while the older one has standard size wooden railway wheels for all of them. And I really like this approach. I believe this is the first time we've seen wheels smaller than the norm on wooden railway models. And all the tender wheels have them too. The tenders are probably the worst part about the tender engines, like all of them. I feel like it would look better if there was the bottom here was red, or if it was shorter. Something looks off, and I think it's with the coloring. I feel like if it was also shorter, like this, what is it? The undercarriage of this was cut down just a bit shorter, and it sat more closely to the wheels, it would look better. And also if the wheels were closer together, I think that would make this tender look better, but I'm not really sure. And also, I don't like how the back wheel just kind of sticks out from under the back of Gordon. I think it kind of looks weird, and it would look better if it was like a little closer. It also kind of bothers me how it doesn't line up, but I still really love this model, even if it's not accurate. I mean, obviously I wasn't expecting it to line up like this one, because they made it so it would do that. And they somewhat changed the design of Gordon to accomplish that. The face is significantly better on the new model, but again, it has a surprised face and they are not, as far as I know, they're not planning on making a normal face, which I think is kind of weird. Again, the old model has only two wheels on the tender, and the wheel configuration is much more accurate. All it's missing is like a back wheel here. Though this one is not accurate at all. It's pretty much just holding up the model is what it's doing. But yeah, I really love these models. I think they look really nice. The colors are great. Most of the complaints people have about them, I don't really mind. I think these models are some of the best things we've gotten from Mattel, probably since at least 2017. I rate this Percy like a 9 out of 10. This is probably what I'd recommend. If you plan on getting like one thing from this range, I'd recommend it be Percy. Diesel's really good. I'd probably give this like an 8 out of 10. I really like Diesel. And Gordon, I'll give Gordon a 7.5 out of 10. I think all of these models are really good. Most of the tender engines are somewhat meh. Like I don't feel like any of the tender engines are like perfect, but most of the tank engines are really good, and I think almost all of them look great. But almost everything in this range looks like at least like presentable. It looks nice. And I'm really happy that Mattel went with this approach, even though the reboot has kind of taken over everything. I'm glad they kept at least one CGI toy line around, and I'm glad they brought back Wooden Railway. I know that meant a lot more to some other people than it did me, because I never grew up with Wooden Railway. I only ever had Take and Play growing up. So, and Trackmaster. Wooden Railway was something I got like after I started YouTube, so it's nice. It's still nice. I appreciate how they're respecting the fans with it, and they did a really good job with the Wooden Railway range. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else they'll do. I plan on maybe collecting the whole range, but I'm not sure if that plan will follow through. I really like these models, and I wanted to talk about them for a bit. Sorry for rambling on for so long, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.